On May 25, 1961, President John F. Kennedy made the bold move of committing the nation to putting a man on the moon before the end of the decade. And it was former naval aviator Neil Armstrong who made that first step. In fact, 15 of the first 29 astronauts selected by NASA wore Navy wings of gold. Now, we'll hear about the lives of 3 of these Navy astronauts.
First of all, I picked the Navy because I had some previous exposure to the Navy. My uncle graduated from the Naval Academy in 1913.
My dream was someday to fly. You know, you go to the movies once a week, see the newsreels of what was happening during the war, particularly in the Pacific, and anonymous heroes in my life are the ones that inspired me to dream about flying, particularly off of aircraft carriers.
I have wanted to be a pilot since I was a small boy, 10 or so. I grew up in World War II, so I saw them in the movies and I wanted to be a pilot.
Made 2 cruises in the little old Skyhawk A4. On the old small 27 Charlie carriers, made a cruise on a Shangri-La and a Hancock.
They assigned me to a jet attack squadron flying F-9, F-8s, Cougars. And I can remember one time we were down at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, doing loft bombing. And I don't know why, but I just pulled too tight. Real tight. And I stalled the airplane and it flipped on me. It went out of control. And I really didn't know exactly what to do. And that airplane came out of it on its own because that airplane would do that.
Well, I think the military service is an excellent career for anybody to be in. I enjoyed it. I look back on my Navy career, what I've done, what I've learned, what I saw. It taught me how important teamwork is, working together, whether on board ship or in a squadron that I was in, or even with my kids at home, good leadership, but teamwork is very, very important.
Oh, I think my military training, along with my education, contributed significantly to whatever I was able to accomplish. Gemini 9, when I had all kinds of trouble on that spacewalk because we didn't anticipate, oddly enough, the laws of Newton and zero gravity got me in a great deal of trouble. I've called that 2.5 hours in space outside the spacecraft spacewalk from hell, and it was. But the determination to not give up, the determination to not give in to the environment that I was confronted with during that walk, it probably would save my life. I was not going to let this get to me. You know, a lot of problems happened. My visor got all fogged up. I ripped my suit on the inside and back. We knew getting back in the spacecraft. I've always compared it to trying to put a champagne cork back into a champagne bottle. I was cork and the spacecraft was a bottle. We knew it was going to be difficult. We practiced it a lot, but we never had an opportunity to really practice it in an extended period of time in zero gravity because you can't reproduce it on Earth. I was in a survival mode, and I was not going to give in to the enemy. And the enemy at that point in time was my environment. My spacesuit was like plaster of Paris. It was hard to bend. And time was the enemy. Daylight, darkness. I had to confront all those things, and I was not going to give in.
I've had an experience that's been given to me by this country that not very many people have had, 11 others besides me. Maybe I need to somehow find a way with my art to celebrate and document this great adventure. It's my duty to do that, sort of. I've been given this gift. What should I do with it? I need to do this other thing because no one of the 12 of us is interested in art except me. And if I could learn to do it well enough, then I could leave a legacy for future generations of stories.
Oh, Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B bus undervolt. Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13, we're looking at it. And we had a pretty large bang associated with the caution and warning there.
Well, on 13, the explosion, of course, caused a lot of consternation, but the crew, all military trained initially, all didn't panic. The three of us had to figure out what went wrong, or more, how do we get home? How do we work? And then here's a good example of good leadership, because we had communication with Mission Control. And these were people that knew about crisis management, because 13 was really a classic case of crisis management, and how to work the problems out one by one to get us back home again.
I turned on an opportunity to walk on the moon on Apollo 16, would have been Apollo 16, to take my chance on getting my command. I didn't want to get a command to give orders. I wanted a responsibility. I wanted to have the opportunity to prove that I was good enough to command a squadron. I've always said, I didn't go to the moon not to come home. You gotta come down fast enough so you don't run out of fuel, but you gotta come down slow enough so you can stop your rate of descent. About 80 feet you run into dust. You go IFR, you can't really see much of anything. And at that point in time, the ground can't tell you anything. I told my partner, Jack Schmittner, I said, I don't want to hear anymore. You're eyeballing. You've made a determination where you're going to land. And you know how much fuel you got. And when you touch down, you shut the engine down and plunk, the dust is gone. The vibration is gone. The noise is gone. Nobody's talking. And all of a sudden you realize, for what could have been 10 seconds or 10 minutes, I don't know, that you are now seeing what has never been seen with human eyes before. You are now where no human beings have ever been in the history of mankind, ever before. You tell the ground.
The Challenger has landed.
Roger, Challenger, that's super.
Okay, boy, you bet it is, Gordo. When you said shut down, I shut down and we dropped, didn't we? Yes, sir. But we is here. Man, is we here. How's that look? Pressures look great. Okay, that side's complete. Houston, you can tell America that Challenger is a source literal. I was strolling on the moon one day in a merry, merry month of December. May.